Combat Insiders. Back on again for the third time. I feel like I'm talking to this guy every day because something's happening. Is Justin the Machine Osborn. Justin, what's up, buddy?
Not much, man. Just healing up right now from the fight.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations on your win at MMA Pro League the past weekend. Puts you to 2-0 as a pro, and it's got to be kind of satisfying because you took it on short notice. But actually, the cool thing is you were down there for the whole fight week. So I kind of want to know, what was it like being part of the team experience? Since, again, it's not something that's new, but they've restructured it to be new. So what was it like to get down there and be, part of Team New Jersey, work out with the guys? And did it have like a different feel than your normal single fights?
Yeah, absolutely. The team concept was pretty cool because we got to be coached by Dan Miller during the week. So, he's there. He's giving us different pointers because, he's had such a long career and with so much experience, not only as a fighter, but also cornering his brother, Jim Miller. So, to get that kind of wisdom imparted on you is huge. And then everybody on our team was hungry, and they wanted to go out there and put on a show. So that kind of energy kind of rubs off on me and rubs off on my teammate Mark. So, it was great.
Yeah, I got to say, man, the show as a whole, I thought, especially from our end, was great. They got you guys in and out for weigh-ins and the media stuff. It was just very well put together. So my hat's off to everybody at MMA Pro League. So now your fight. You fought Andy Jimenez, short notice at 55. The post-weigh-in interviews, I don't know if you got to see him before or after your fight. Did you have any contact with him before you found out he was your opponent, or you had no idea who he was before you signed?
Didn't have a clue who he was and didn't give a damn, just wanted to fight.
Yeah, so I'm sure you've probably seen it now. I don't know about before, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. He was confident, man, talking about I'm going to take his soul and he's not going to last half a round. It's kind of funny to watch it now because, the fight's over. But I actually wanted to talk about your fight. So you want a split decision, 29-28 times 2, and then 28-29 for your opponent. Before we talk about anything, the actual fight, did you think it was a split decision win? Or, for Media Row scoring the fight, we clearly, we had it as a clear 30-27 for you. But what's your take on it, man? Did you feel like it was split decision, or did you think you clearly won all 3 rounds?
Well, I believe I clearly won all 3 rounds, and then I asked Dan Miller, he literally just met me that week, so he doesn't have to be biased to me or anything, right? He can just tell me the straight up truth. I asked him, hey, how'd you score the fight? He said, at least 2-1, if not 3-0. And then I asked my coach Randy, how'd you score? He said 3-0 us. But the funny thing is, it's so funny that he said he'd take my soul and I wouldn't last half a round, because my coach said he's going to have a oh shit moment in this fight. And then after the first round on, he was hunching over his stool, huffing and puffing, fighting for air. And it's funny because it's like, if anybody's soul got taken, it was his. It's like, because you can't win a fight, backing up the entire fight and not throwing anything, right. I don't know if that was in school and one guy was backing up the whole time, right? And then the teacher comes and breaks it up, right? Not that I condone that behavior or anything. Who won the fight? Right? If it's schoolyard rules. Yeah, go ahead.
And if you listen to for the people that have Flow Combat, if you don't have Flow Combat, I recommend going to get it. The replay's on there. They got tons of stuff. But if you listen to the commentary on Flow Combat, which I know you probably have because you went back and watched your fight, they made it sound as if he was down 2 rounds to none. When the fight was nearing the end of the 3rd round, they were talking about how he needs to do something some like wild submission or land some big bomb. So, I mean, even if you were having trouble scoring the fight, the commentation kind of leads you to believe that you were up 2-0. And I thought the third round was probably the most clear round that you won.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, how's the judging criteria, right? The first priority is damage. Who got kicked in the head? Not me, right? And who got kneed in the body repeated times? You know, who got? I mean, yes, I did get punched in the head, but who got punched in the head more, right? And who got kicked in the body?
The only stuff I saw that I don't think was a factor is you got taken down, but let's realistically, how long were you down for? 20 seconds?
Yeah,
if that. Like you got
that long.
Unfortunately,
and then when I take him down, he's down for what, over a minute? So it's like it's just clear. You know, it's damage, effective striking, effective grappling, and cage control. Like, whose back was against the cage for most of the fight? You know, when we were in those exchanges, not mine. Like, so, but I mean, I went back and watched the fight, and you know, there's stuff I need to improve on. You know, because you can always do better. I mean, even if you finish a guy, you can always do better, and especially if you go to a decision. You know, as a fighter, you know, you don't want to leave it to the judges because you never know what they're going to come out with. So, next fight, you know, I'm gonna take what I've seen from this fight, and then I'm gonna implement that in my training, so that way when the next fight comes, I can get out there and get a finish, as I usually do.
I mean, to sum it up, I mean, we could go round by round, but really to sum the whole fight up is you moved forward consistently. You guys had some pretty good exchanges. You both took damage, but at the end of the day, I think you did one up them all 3 rounds. The only round that I saw anything that it shouldn't have been a total sway in a round because you won was round 1. The round ended with him on your back.
Right.
But leading up to that, I think it was kind of clear everything else on what you did. So now the more important part, man, the fight, people are just going to have to go watch it. Again, highly recommended to get Flow Combat. Besides your fight, there was tons of great fights on the card for the night. What's next, man? What are you doing next? I mean, so you got MMA Pro League over here. You took a short notice fight at 55, came in, put on a show, got the win. But you also have a bunch of other stuff working, which you don't have to disclose. I know, behind closed doors until there's something to announce. Yeah. But what is your plan? What's next for you, or what do you want to be next?
Well, what's next for me is I'm going to watch my boy Iron Mike Barnett next Saturday at Island Fights 50. It's on UFC Fight Pass. If you want to watch my guy Iron Mike knock this fool out, tune in next Saturday on Fight Pass for Island Fights 50. And then the week after that, I'm going to the PFL playoff show in New Orleans on that Friday, October the 5th. Because, I love my guys that I trained with at Factory X, and one of the guys from there is fighting on the show, Steven Seiler. So hopefully he can go out there and continue his crazy win streak. And but in terms of the fighting, I'm not sure. I'm listening to. I'm taking offers from anybody right now. Comparing and contrasting and just seeing what's best for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure as you keep winning, it's going to open more doors for you. One thing I kind of wanted to ask, man, and I noticed this definitely about your fight. I feel like you're a hard dude to fight because you're just unorthodox. You don't come at people like, it's not typical boxing. It's not typical Muay Thai. You just have something about your style, man. It's unorthodox. It's not bad. It's just different. So, it's kind of confusing. Is that just kind of how it happened? Or was that part of the plan, or it's just it's just how you fight, and that's what it is?
Part of it is how I fight, and part of it's the plan, right? So our plan going in was to go in there, get in his face, and, not throw super hard at first, like not try to knock him out at first, but just kind of put a pace on him that he couldn't handle, and put him in position, because the guy had never been to decision, and he only had 3 AMI fights. So it's just like, we're just going to keep building and building and building and upping the pace and then upping the power. As you saw in the second round, I really upped the power with the pace. And so, but, in terms of like the question mark kicks and, the stuff like the head kicks and the knees and stuff, that's really just organic. I mean, I have the thing about my style is whatever you want to do, I've got an answer for that. And I can make adjustments to the game plan like we did. Like, I wasn't planning on trying to take him down so much, but he couldn't handle me in the clinch, so I just kept going back to it. If you can't handle me in a certain area, I'm just going to keep going until you figure something out. And then I'm going to make another adjustment, And that's because you can see, if you go back and watch the fight, you can see him blocking my kick, right? Blocking the kick like this, right? And every time he blocked the kick, I would notice his hands would drift down and then go back to his face. So that's when I threw the question mark kick over, because he's blocking, right? And then he thinks it's coming this way, but really it's going to drop over his head and cut him and cut his head off. But I mean, the guy's got a cinder block for a head, so, I mean, I'll give him that. Because, I mean, he absorbed 2 flush head kicks and was still coming. So, credit to him and his toughness.
Yeah, the question mark kick was kind of, it happened, and you know how it happened so fast. We were like, did he adjust mid-kick, or was it on purpose? But I got to talk to you after, and it was definitely on purpose. As for your cardio, like you said with the pace, man, it didn't look at any point like you were gassed at all. But it looked like every round you actually kept picking up the pace, and pressing and pressing and pressing. And your opponent did look kind of winded, like sitting down, coming into the third round. It looked like the pace was starting to get to him. But again, you said he ate some shots, man, and he kept coming. So we're not going to take anything away from him for
sure.
He showed up to fight. And, you guys put on a great show.
Yeah, the big difference was my mindset was, like I told you, I was there to do one thing and one thing only, and that was to get into a fist fight. I'm not out there, trying to be a WWE character.
Right. You're there to get into a brawl.
Right. I'm not out there to, get my costume on or anything like that. I'm already psyched up. I don't have to psych myself up. I'm ready. I'm here for business, and my business is the fist fighting business.
So now, before you go, I know you're getting closer and closer, and we talked about this. How's the project on the Twitch stream? How are we making out?
Oh man, we're doing great. Now I actually have some free time to focus on it, while I'm healing up. I mean, as you can see here, with the interview, right? I've got the webcam focused on me right now. And then I've got this handy little microphone here. Among other things, probably this weekend I'm going to be finished up with like installing all the necessary software and getting all the components hooked up, and it's going to be ready in October. It's going to be ready. And
I just think it's cool when fighters find different outlets. You know what I mean? We all use Skype, we all use Twitter, we all use Instagram. I don't know. I mean, I know there's fighters that stream on Twitch for gaming.
Right.
But I know, like we've talked before, you plan on using it for a little bit more than that. So it'll be kind of interesting to see. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I've been just the thing that sucks is I've had this like blister on my thumb, so I haven't even been able to like play. I've been playing a little bit of PC games, but I haven't been able to play console games just because like with my thumb right here, it's like it's just gonna jack it up even worse trying to manipulate the joystick, and then I haven't been able to draw obviously because I fight left-handed, but I draw with my right hand. So it's just like, oh God, like I gotta wait until I do that, because I haven't been able to draw like I wanted to for a little bit just because I've been carried away with all this other stuff. So I can't wait to get back to that, man. And like I said, whatever comes next, I'm ready.
Well, before I let you go, do you have any final thoughts, shout-outs? I always like to give you guys a chance to shout out your sponsors, friend, family, whoever you want.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank Hani Darwish for the opportunity to fight for the inaugural MMA Pro League show. So that's awesome because, only 18 guys get to say that they fought on the first show. So that's great. Thank you, Hani and Mark Taffet. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Comments from the Peanut Gallery. Check them out on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, wherever. I actually have a podcast coming out for them. It won't be this next week, but the week after. And then my chiropractor, Ken Smith of Back in Motion Chiropractic, he keeps the machine fine-tuned. And I want to thank my coaches, Randy James and Mike Barnett, for coming up with me. And I'd like to thank Mark for coming up with me too. I know he had a fight, and stuff, but it was very rare for a team to have so many guys come up there with them. So it was great.
Yeah, absolutely. And first I got to thank you. You're always game to come on and talk. So it's always a good time to have you on. It was a little easier now since you're in recovery mode. We don't have to catch you between training sessions.
Right.
Shout out to Josh Furs, my partner here at Combat Insiders, but also of the Finish MMA, and Johnny over at Jab Apparel. I'm sure we'll be seeing Justin on here more and more as things happen. Definitely, guys, go follow him on social media. I'll put his Instagram link in the description, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you very much, Nick.
Anytime.